it's Alice Seba from Elite Writers Lab. It's just me here today. Ron is busy with a move and all kinds of exciting things going on at home. But I do have a very special guest here, and that is my good friend and fellow online business owner, Tawnya Sutherland. I've known Tawnya probably for 15 years, you figure?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And she lives actually locally to me. Funny enough, I am actually in her apartment right now, her apartment by the beach. I'm enjoying her wonderful view while she is off visiting her mother and helping her mom move. So I'm really glad that you did take the time to visit with us. And what Tawnya has been doing, and as long as I've known her, is training virtual assistants and also connecting business owners with virtual assistants so they can get the help that they need. So maybe I'll let you tell people a little bit more about what you do, and possibly tell us briefly kind of what a virtual assistant is, or a VA as people call it for short, because some people may not know.
Okay, well, what I've been doing for many years, probably 14, 15 years, is I've been running a virtual assistant network. We're the market leader for virtual assistant resources. And to find a virtual assistant or to learn how to become a virtual assistant, you come by my site, and that's what I'm teaching. And basically a virtual assistant is, they're a person that works remotely, just like we are right now, from their home, typically. I mean, not that they can't work from maybe they rent an office or something, but most virtual assistants, they work from home and they do creative, technical, and administrative work for their clients. So that's what a virtual assistant is.
So the reason I wanted to talk to you, I guess, was kind of twofold, because we have a lot of writers who offer services as writing services, ghostwriting, copywriting, whatever it happens to be. And then we also have authors and information product sellers. So there's two kind of areas of interest. First is, possibly offering services as a virtual assistant. So I wanted to talk about that first. And then after that, if we could talk about actually hiring a virtual assistant and how they can help someone's business. So on the service side, can you give writers an idea of what kind of skills would they have that would be in demand as a virtual assistant?
Well, as a writer, you've got a lot more things that you can offer in your virtual assistant services besides just administrative. Like a general virtual assistant will look after things like people's email, keeping them organized, maybe doing other things. It depends on a specialty, because every virtual assistant's really unique in what they offer. But I know there's a high demand for virtual assistants that can do things like copywriting or writing, doing a blog post for someone, posting it, being able to post it on WordPress for the clients, or writing their ebooks and different things like that. There's so much opportunity for writers in the virtual assistant world to get some work. I mean, I'm always looking for copywriters, to update our website copy, everything, our autoresponders. There's so many things that virtual assistants can do if they have copywriting skills, or proofreading even, even if you don't have huge writing skills yet, proofreading, most people can do that if they have the basic understanding of the English, right? So.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. There's so much writing that has to be done for a business. And if you have those technical skills, like knowing how to use WordPress or use an Aweber autoresponder or whatever service it happens to be, if you can do the whole job for somebody, that's so much easier, right? Than if, they have to go hire a writer to write the content, then they have to get the virtual assistant to load it up to the autoresponder or to WordPress. If they have somebody who can just take care of all of it, that's so much easier.
Yeah, you'll be a real find for someone, like a really true asset for someone if you can do, like I always tell the virtual assistants, I hope you can do something else, like be it copywriting or WordPress, something to do like that, or social media marketing or something, because just getting a virtual assistant just to do general administrative, it's not so much now. You got to have that little niche, that little skill set, which writers, that's a huge niche for writers. Yeah.
And for me, I find, over the years, I've worked with a lot of different VAs, but the ones I keep are the ones that I can count on to be able to do those extra things. When they can't write and I have to do all those extra steps, I tend not that they've done a bad job, but I just tend to not have that much work for them because it's more work for me to keep them. So yeah, it's totally reasonable. So how much money can virtual assistants make?
Well, I always, it really depends on your overhead. A virtual assistant in the Philippines is going to make a lot less money than someone living in North America, right? But in North America, I'd say starting just with general administrative skills, not adding the writing skills and different things that your group would have, is, I say $35 an hour to start with just general administration skills. And, they can work their way up there. If there's subcontracting for someone else, they might work a bit cheaper because, you're working out a deal. You're not having to do any marketing. You're getting quality work sent to you all the time. So, they could work cheaper, but anywhere between $35 and $50 an hour for just a general administrative virtual assistant.
And how do they compete?
Skills you get maybe more.
How do you compete with those very low cost services in the Philippines or wherever it happens to be?
Well, there's always it's kind of like any trade. There's always going to be people that want those people and that want to pay $5 an hour. And there's going to be people that, no, I just want it all done. I don't want to think about it. And, the one thing about writing specifically, hiring someone in the Philippines probably isn't going to work if you're trying to translate things. The English language gets all messed up anyways. But, as far as competing just with virtual assistant services, there's always going to be a client that wants it for $5 to $10.
Yeah. Also,
more than enough clients out there for all of us, or else I wouldn't be in business right now, training new virtual assistants for they'll pay, whatever, $35 to $50 an hour easily. And they just want to know that it's done. They're getting the work done for them. They don't have to think about it. And that's worth every penny to them. So there's always clients out there. You just got to go for the right clients, right? You don't want to go after these clients that don't want to pay anything. You want to go after the good clients. And there's lots of them out there.
Exactly. And like you kind of just said, you pointed out a very good thing. If they have the writing skills to go with it, that already puts them aside. They're more of a full service provider. They can take on more and, really come to understand the business and grow with it. So yeah, I totally agree with you. There is something for everybody, which is on the other side. Pardon?
Lots of room for all of us, no matter.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. And I've worked with both sides, and I tend to end up just paying more because it's easier for me. I know it's all good. So how do you get your first virtual assistant clients?
How do you get clients as a virtual assistant? Well, I always say join the virtual assistant organizations, and there's good jobs on there because people already are familiar with what a virtual assistant is. So the jobs coming into our boards are quality jobs. They already know they have to pay $30 and up an hour, right? Kind of thing. Where if you go to, the freelance sites, Upwork and whatever they're called, you now are going to be competing with all the third world. Exactly. Yeah. So just go looking for in the right places, forming relationships on social networks, getting into, if you're working for coaches as a writer, say your niche is you're working for coaches or whatever it is, go start hanging out in the groups on Facebook or LinkedIn that coaches are, and start offering your wisdom, your little ethical bribes of wisdom, right? Kind of thing that, you can tell people, oh yeah, this is how you would do it, and you post it into their groups, and you just get known, you form relationships, and then people will see, oh, that girl, she's always helping out everybody, maybe I'll hire her, right? Yeah. So, you can do the social networking thing. Personally, that takes a long time to build, but it does work. Or just go to your local Chamber of Commerce meetings, join up to them. I mean, my daughter went to one here in town locally, and it was like,
your voice cut out. Do you go to which meetings?
Like go to networking meetings in person.
Okay.
Like Chamber of Commerce meetings, or I think she went to Babes in Business,
Babes
something like that.
I think I remember her saying that.
And she got like 3 clients right there because they knew what she did, and there was no other virtual assistants right around. And when people meet you in person, they tend to warm up to you a little quicker than trying to do on the social networking. It is about forming relationships, unless you're going right directly to the sources. Like our network, we have a paid membership where you could get the job board and stuff, right? So
you tell us your website address?
Well, it's VA as in virtual assistant networking.com. So VAnetworking.com.
VAnetworking.com. Yes. Go check her out over there. Yeah. Yeah, that's really a good point. Yeah, like we all think we're on the internet and we're trying to find online clients, but the local source, face to face, like you say, it's there, and then it grows from there too. So you're not necessarily having to do all this face-to-face local networking if you're shy like me. But once you get the ball rolling and you get referrals and you do a good job, you get more clients from there, right?
Yeah, and it's great because even with the word of mouth marketing, once you get one really good client, tell that client, hey, I'll give you money. I'll give you a Starbucks gift card, whatever, if you start for every person you refer to me. And when you start working for a really good client, usually their friends are really good too, right?
Right.
So if you're working with a crappy client, no, you don't want referrals from them.
You don't
want. That's crappy too. But yeah, no, once you get a good client, give them incentive to send people to you. And that's another good way to get new clients too.
Any thoughts on like getting ongoing work? Because sometimes people just want to hire you for a project and then it's done, and then you got to find more clients. How do you find those people are going to pay you every month?
Yeah, what I recommend people doing the virtual assistants is putting a client on retainer. So let's say, I'm just going to throw something out there. Let's say I'm $500 a month for 0 hours, whatever. If they get every month, maybe it's only $400 a month for them. They might get a discount, right? So they get a discount in your hourly rate if they sign up to the retainers. And, that's incentive for them to sign up ahead of time. So you don't even have to collect the money at the end of the month, which is bonus for you. You're not chasing people. You've got your money up front for the month. And that's how I really recommend it. It's like monthly retainers, and just give them incentive to do it that way. Project-based is good. It sometimes gets you the clients on board with you until you can push them towards something that's more long-term, because that's the perfect scenario, is having long-term retainer clients, basically.
So how do you convince them, though, for the retainer that they need ongoing services? What types of things do you offer them so that they don't want to get rid of it? Yeah,
start showing them you can make money for them, however it is. Maybe you're writing posts for them to put on their social networks, and you're uploading it to Hootsuite, so it's going out here and there and all over the place, and they're starting to make money through either their affiliate links or selling their products or whatever it might be. Incentive to me to always keep hiring my VAs is, they made me some X amount of dollars this month, right? So prove that you can do that. Or there's so many things coming out nowadays that you can, if you can't think of something to do for your client, just if they've got a product, say, let's redo your autoresponders. Like, you got to be creative, proactive, and be on top of things to kind of keep thinking up work. Maybe you're going to do some really nice quotes on pretty pictures using Canva to put out their social network. Just always keep thinking of new things you can do for them.
Right.
My VA, she just has a regime. She does, and I know she's doing it all. But it's just, she does the same thing every month. She looks after all my social media stuff. Sometimes they're just one-off projects, being writers and that, but there's other ways you can find ways to put them on board for 10 or 20 hours a month, right? As a writer, that would be what I'd say, is do something with social media marketing for them.
Or I like how you say, like, paying attention to what they need done too. So say you're helping them with an autoresponder thing and you see that maybe they don't have a good follow-up series somewhere, then like don't snoop around where you're not supposed to be. But if it's obvious, like you pay attention to those things. I love that when a virtual assistant can look, I'm so busy. And even if there maybe are things I've thought about doing, having someone say, hey, I can take care of this for you. Why don't I do this? It's like, oh yeah, please do that. So yeah, pay attention to what can make their business better.
Yeah. And like even my VA, I'll say, oh, Alice is doing an affiliate sale or something. Maybe you should, or contest or something this month. I won't even notice, but she's done my email. She sees it. And it's like, we should get in on this and do some of this and send out some emails. Like everybody's broadcasting emails. I mean, that's something you could regularly do every week for your clients, right? Find another reason to put out an email to help them make some money. So
yeah, emails make money for sure. So let's talk about the other side of things. So actually hiring a VA, because like I don't know where I would be if I didn't have any virtual assistants. They take care of support, product support for me, customer support emails. They help set up my products. They set up my sales pages because I've got all these templates and things. Like they just, like when I'm forced to do everything for myself every once in the blue moon, it's like, whoa, it's difficult. So it is wonderful that I am at that point. But for other people, they might be hesitant, right? They're thinking, well, I know what to do and it'll take too much effort to train somebody. What do you say to someone who thinks that?
It's going to take a little bit of effort to find that perfect VA, right? It's kind of like you might have to go through a couple to find the right one. But once you find the right one, I mean, my VAs have been with me for years. Like they're there for so long and they know your business inside and out. How to find one? Go to a reputable place. I don't go to Fiverr to find a VA. If you want something long-term, if you just want a project done or something, it's a one-time knockoff, then sure, find a virtual assistant that way, right? But if you want something long-term, I think it's almost like hiring someone in-house, but you're going to do it all virtually. So you need to interview them, get them on something like this, right? Mm-hmm. Interview them, see if you connect with them. Because first of all, if they're not going to like your jokes or whatever, you're going to have like not a good connection, right? So you just want to find someone that first of all you connect with, go with your gut on a lot of things. As far as credentials and stuff, you can find out a lot from their website. Go to their website once you find out who it is. And you're like at our network, you can put in a request for a virtual assistant, right? And then it goes to our paid virtual assistants that will apply to the job, which when you're getting a paid, someone that's in a membership, it's more often they're more valuable, they're paying to be in a membership. So, that makes them not more fly by night type thing.
And you can submit a job for free, right? As the person doing the hiring. And so is there a link for that, or is if they go to the main VA?
You know what? If they go to the main website, it'll say hire a VA.
Okay.
Okay. And like there's also an ebook there. They can download different things to learn how to pay a virtual assistant, all the ins and outs. But everything will be there that they can find out about becoming.
Yes, you've got a lot of stuff on that site. It's a great resource. You've been growing it for so long.
I know, it's been a long time. Yeah.
So we talked about kind of like for a writer, what kind of services they've got to offer, but thinking about an author or an information product seller, what kind of tasks do you think they could use a virtual assistant for?
Again, a big one is social media, writing those tweets and different things. I mean, I do all my personal stuff on social media. Like I get to do the fun stuff. Oh yeah, I was in a tornado today, or whatever. And I was. I'm doing this all day because my mom does this. I'm staying at my mother's just in case. And Alice is house sitting for me. But I was just in a tornado yesterday here. Everything goes like crazy when I move out here. But anyways, I got off topic, so I'm gonna get back on here. But I forget. I keep thinking maybe you're just sitting there and we're yapping, Dallas. Like
yes, exactly.
That's in business.
Those are the best conversations. But what kind of services was the question? If you lost it.
Autoresponders. Social media is a big, huge thing. Autoresponders, rewriting websites, just taking a product and putting it into an ebook, or taking all their blog posts and putting them into an ebook. There's so many things that writers can do for their clients. They can, I don't know if they can transcribe it all. They can do webinars and transcribe it into notes. Everybody wants notes for everything nowadays. Yeah. Just doing that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work, but it's good hours for someone that can write.
So, but what about the other way though? Like, so say I'm an information product seller, which I happen to be, and I want to hire a VA. What should I hire them to do for me? Like, not necessarily a writer, right? It doesn't matter if they have writing skills or not. What kind of thing should I take off my plate?
Okay. I like what my VAs do for me is they organize my email, and they deal with my help desk, all the customer service. I don't have to do any of that, right? And unless it's important and requires me, they think, oh, you should respond to this one. They'll put it in front of me. So a lot of administrative email organization. They do my webinars. They record my webinars. They edit my webinars. They put together my products. My last product was, I said, here it is physical. It was in a physical mode, right? Because that's how I used to sell it. And I says, I want it digital, like no more physical anymore. They put that into a digital product online in WordPress, did all the graphics, graphic designs. It's easy for VAs to do graphic design now. They don't have to have Photoshop, right? Because they can do it in a lot of other easier programs. Your marketing, telephone answering, if
telephone?
you want.
People have telephones?
Well,
some people do.
They have 1-800 numbers and stuff, and you can get things set up like Ring Central, where it goes right into their office and they deal with all your things like that. I mean, someone's doing my Ring Central right now, and it's not you at my house.
No.
No.
But yeah, I approach it kind of the same way. It's like the day-to-day stuff. If you can get that off your plate, and that's the stuff that like it drags you down, right? Say like emails and customer service. Like, customers are great, but worrying that, oh, I got to answer this or make sure my customers are okay. Knowing that peace of mind that someone is taking care of that for you is like immensely valuable. And the other thing I noticed too was that, when I was doing it all myself, I felt like it took so much time, like that it was spending so much time, and like, how could I afford to hire someone to do it? Because it would need to be it would cost me so much money. But then I realized when they're focused and they're actually only working on that, it's way less time than we think. And when it comes to become more hours that we need to hire them for, that means business is good, right? So we could certainly afford it. But we're always distracted and we're looking at other stuff, and we think that these tasks take us forever, but they really don't. And if you can take them off your plate, you're more focused on growing your business and strategizing things as opposed to working in the day-to-day tasks.
Yeah, like even just have a little drama in a Facebook group, and that can take you 2.5 hours to deal with. But if you've got one of your VAs is dealing with that, they won't even tell you that it even happened. It's just kind of
and they probably don't take it as personally. They don't get drawn into it as much. So it doesn't take as much time. It doesn't ruin their day, and they just move on to the next thing, right?
Yeah, and what you can do, like, it's the same as hiring a housekeeper. I mean, who does their own housekeeping anymore when you can, pay someone $25-30 an hour to house clean, and then I can go and do a coaching session for a couple of $100. Like, I've made $150 right there just by letting her do that, and I'm not cleaning the house. And as long as what you want to do is if you think you can't afford one, I say it's the opposite. You can't afford to be without a virtual assistant, because if you take the time that they're spending working for you on building money product or making money,
doing higher level tasks, right?
Yes, things they can't do. You know, they don't have this information up in their head on your products or whatever it might be, right? And, you know, just focus on the money tasks, and yeah.
And then it grow, yeah. And then you suddenly you're making more money, and you can afford to even pay more and get them to do more for you.
You can get lots of them working.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean that's where I am right now. And the moment I'm doing some new stuff, so I'm working a bit more. But I really generally have so much time to think about those things that I want to do and plan and strategize, because that's way better where I am. If I think about all the tasks I have to do to get something done, I'm like, well, maybe I don't need to do that. But if I know that I have a team, and I don't have a big team, I guess with the PLR writing, I do have a bigger team, but for the main day-to-day business operations, I have two assistants only. And I mean that it's just knowing that I have them there to be able to step in wherever I have this idea, I want to do this, can you go do this? It's like fantastic.
And just remember, it'll take maybe a month or two to work with that assistant and figure out how each other works, right? So don't just give up on the first week. Unless terrible or whatever, right? Which can happen, but you know, give it some time, because you won't see the real return for a month or two until you get working with each other and she can read your mind.
And I think, a lot of times people get frustrated right away and they say they didn't do a good job and stuff like that, but that's what often comes down to communication, right? So maybe, you know, you're not telling, if you don't like what they're doing, you have to do more than just say, I don't like what you're doing. You have to say, they would prefer it done this way. And that takes it takes a bit of time at the start, but it's certainly worthwhile to have someone well-trained and who can help you. And what about, like, so now I'm thinking as somebody listening to this. So I think, okay, I invested all this time into this VA and I trained her, and now she went off and did something else. So I never know if someone's going to move on. What can I do about that?
Yeah, that's always the risk. Pay and treat your people well, and they won't take off on you, right? Like that's what it really boils down to. If you're going to pay peanuts, you're going to get monkeys, right? It's kind of
there. You go.
Once you know someone's really good, you know, it might just be kind to them. Like it might just be sending them flowers on their birthday or something. Think out of the box. It doesn't always have to be cash, right? But giving them a higher rate helps, you know, a pay raise once in a while, or, you know, maybe their microphone went on them and you shoot them a microphone from Amazon or whatever it is. You know, it can be simple, small things. Maybe just an Amazon gift card. Everybody loves those, but you know, it's trying just, you know, it's the same with anybody in-house or outside. You just got to treat them well, and they'll well. But there's always a chance of losing someone. I mean, someone will get pregnant or something, and being a virtual assistant, see, they can still work at home, right?
They might be off for a bit, but yeah. But also, you document. I mean, when you're training someone too, I find that if you document it, right? So everything you write, like, don't just write in an email and then forget about it to your assistant. You know, put that in a document, all these instructions you have, because you've told somebody once how to do it. And if you've written it down or recorded it on a video, or like if you get on the phone, then maybe record the phone call, right? And then you've got all that stuff to give to the next person, because it does happen. But you're right, you know, treat people well. I mean, I think, shoot, I don't know how long I've been with Melody. I have no clue, like 10 years?
Years. It's got to be longer than that.
You think it's longer than that?
I think a long time, yeah.
And then Tawnya, that I worked with, has just been the last few years I found her. But man, I'm hanging on to her. She's so good. So yeah, I have to keep making sure. And what I love actually is another thing is, and this may sound scary to people, is to be organized. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we hired virtual assistants to help organize us, but also, if we can, avoid giving them surprise, like, last minute stuff I do throw at mine, and I'm respectful, and I say, do you think you could do this? If they can't, then it's not a problem. I try not to be like a chicken with my head cut off, but it's like an accountability thing for me too. So I hire them to help organize me, but on the other hand, I am becoming even more organized and thinking ahead of what I need to do. And that's just good for me. That's good for me personally and good for my business that I am organized. And, I think of it, it keeps me accountable. I know that they're waiting for work. So I have to make sure that I've thought about what work they need to get done. And it just makes sure everything keeps running smoothly.
Yeah, and you can have a lot of VAs, when you hire one, they'll have a project management system, whatever it is that they're using. We use Asana, but like there's Teamwork and all different kinds of ones out there that they use. Yeah. And sometimes that's good for communication and keeping things in line. And one project, if they're really good and they'll tell you, I need this by this date or it ain't happening or whatever, and different things. But yeah, having systems in place or system sheets that you can, or screencasts or a business procedures manual where, let's say, even every business should have that, where it's just kind of have your VA do it for you.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. It sounds intimidating to set it up, but they can help you do that.
And then if she ever leaves, then it's done, and you just got to pass it on to the next person.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So thank you so much. I'm so glad that you took some time. I know you're busy helping your mom get all settled into her place. And I'm enjoying your place. Thank you. Beautiful sunny day out there.
It's been raining since I got here. It's actually sunny now. I'm actually right on the Lake Ontario, so it's kind of cool. It's
you've got a beach there too.
Yeah, I do.
Lake Ontario is big enough to look like an ocean.
They've got a pier actually that you can drive a car out on the pier. It's kind of cool.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts, maybe either from either side, the working as an assistant or hiring an assistant, and maybe remind them where they can go to what kind of resources you might have?
Well, like I said, if you're a business owner, don't ever think you can't afford to have a virtual assistant. You can't afford to be without a virtual assistant, really. Every business can have one, and if you don't know what services you can throw at them, like just do a call with me or something on, I do 15-minute consults to help you out there, right? That are free. Just drop a line or an email to us and we'll fix you up and give you some ideas. But you really need to, let's say Donald Trump, for example, I'm sure he doesn't do all of his work on his
I'm pretty sure he doesn't do a lot of his work. Anyways.
I had to throw that in there. But anyways, the biggest CEOs in the world, they don't have to do all their stuff. They just do the stuff that they love doing and that's fun and that makes them money. And that's
the vision, right?
Yeah. And, the first way to do it is to start outsourcing, learn to delegate, learn to let it go.
Yeah.
As far as people wanting to become a virtual assistant, to add to their services, like really as a writer, your groups are mostly writers and stuff. Maybe they're not getting enough work as a writer, that they could add some little things to it, like, looking after someone's help desk. That's writing. You're answering questions and things like that, or doing people's autoresponders and things like that. And, it's not much more to learn, and you're already writing anyways. But there's lots of things you can add on as a business. You don't have to call yourself a virtual assistant. You can still call yourself a writing assistant or whatever you guys call yourselves.
I don't know, make up a title. But you're right. you don't have to say I'm a VA. You can say whatever it is you do for your clients. That's what you help them with. But you're using.
But I call them virtual assistants only because that's my market.
That's all right. Well, so vanetworking.com.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff there. So thanks again, Tawnya, and have a fantastic evening for you already. Afternoon here in Vancouver.
Water my plants.
Pardon?
Water my plants.
Oh no, I'll kill your plants. All right, I'll try.
Inside, not inside. They're all done.
All right. Thanks again, Tawnya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.